Hey everybody, thank you for checking out today's video. It is Daze Before Christmas. Now I'm not just talking about the time, I'm talking about the game. Yeah, what a perfect time to play this Christmas themed game right around Christmas time. Literally the most wonderful time of the year. This game was developed by a Norwegian company called Funcom and published by Sunsoft. Now Sunsoft has published many games throughout the 80s and 90s that we've grown to love, like the Batman games and some other DC games, but there's too many to count, but they published a lot of games. So I've gotten a lot of requests for this one. It's Daze Before Christmas. It's published by Sunsoft. Can't be that bad, right? Let's check it out. I have my Super Nintendo here, and I got my eggnog. Let's have some fun.
The title screen seems pretty promising. It just looks like Santa in a winter wonderland at the North Pole with a bunch of other people there. Then you get the story. Only days before Christmas, Santa slept in his house. An evil plot was brewing, cooked up by an awful louse. What's a louse? Well, according to Google, a louse is a parasite or like a lice or something like that. Well, to tell the story, basically, the louse and the timekeeper are out to get Santa along with a giant snowman and other bad guys. They want to sabotage Christmas and Santa for no real explanation, so it's up to you as Santa Claus to keep it from happening. So the first level, you're in Santa's house or workshop trying to save the elves. So your enemies here are rats, but look at this. So you turn presents into rats just to turn them back into presents? I'm not trying to overthink this, but this doesn't really make much sense here. Normally you just shoot the enemy and they die, but I guess the premise is that they're hiding in presents? I don't know. So yeah, your attack is this snowball that turns enemy to presents again, and sometimes bombs comes out. These people really want Santa dead. What did the jolly old man do for these people to want to murder him so badly? So your objective here is to collect as many presents as you can and just reach the end of the level. In level 2, you're in a snowfield, and oh my goodness, the level here is the easiest and shortest level in existence. Just watch. Wow, what a challenging level. The level was only like 20 seconds. So level 3, you're in the cave, and there he is. It's Satan Claus. I mean, Anti-Claus. No. It's a freaking devil. I'm calling him Satan Claus. So anyways, as you're Satan Claus, you only attack by swinging your sack, and you're invulnerable to almost anything. But the power-up only lasts like 5 seconds. And when you're Santa, you shoot a projectile as your attack. So there's almost no point to be Satan Claus at all. Well, anyways, back to the cave level. The objective here is for you to rescue your reindeer by getting this fire power-up. Even though the fire power-up looks like a lightning bolt, you use it to melt the ice to rescue your reindeer, and then you move on.
Wow. I know we're just getting started, but this game is already not panning out. And you know what's funny? This game was exclusively made for Australia, and the Sega Genesis was made in Europe. There was no North American release. Why not? It makes no sense. North America was the country who put commercializing Christmas on the map, and they couldn't even do that? It makes no sense. From what I've heard, Sunsoft in North America went bankrupt, and they couldn't really publish it in North America, and it just seemed like they just dropped the ball here, dropped the snowball. Yeah, they were trying to play with snow, but what they were really doing was snorting crack. Well, anyways, let's just continue this game and see how the rest goes.
So in level 4, everything gets all dark and creepy. And what is this, a magic carpet? Is this Aladdin? Please, can someone tell me how this makes any sense at all? Correct me if I'm wrong, but in Arabian culture, I don't think they celebrate Christmas. There's something wrong here. I think they were drinking too much eggnog as they were developing this game. Well, anyways, in level 5, you fight a boss, the snowman, and he's easy. And all this game is a series of levels going through basements, snow levels or fields, Santa's home and workshop, and then space for some reason. And then you also get these flying levels where you're going into cities delivering gifts to people. But again, tell me how this makes sense. You're flying with your 2 reindeers, dropping gifts into chimneys that are lit on fire. This raises some questions. 1. Doesn't Santa go into the chimney physically to deliver the gifts? 2. Doesn't he deliver on Christmas Eve and not days before? 3. Why is he dropping gifts down chimneys that are lit? Wouldn't they catch on fire? And 4. Why only 2 reindeer? Did these people even know what Christmas is or was at all? Obviously not. The gameplay can be very frustrating at times. For one, the platforming can seem too floaty when you jump and you can't control where you go. And also, the camera is zoomed way up. You can hardly see what's in front of you. So when you reach these platforms and you can't see what's in front of you, besides nothing but space, it only forces you to make a decision called a leap of faith, where literally you jump off not knowing where you're going to land. I hate this. You never know what's in front of you or where you're going to land. So most of the time, you're just going to fall to your death. At least they give you the courtesy of an extra life, because they know that was a crummy thing to do. Also, I must ask again, why is Santa in space? It makes as much sense as Michael Jackson shooting lasers in his own video game. Maybe I'll review that one day. So as you progress through the game, you fight the timekeeper. He's a little tricky at first with his half pipe, but you find his pattern and he becomes really easy to beat. Then more flying levels, now Russia. And then you come to fight this giant mouse. And this guy is genuinely frightening. And I mean it. I got so scared fighting him. I mean, look at that grin. And the way his sprite moves chasing you genuinely scared me. This giant mouse wants Santa dead. I swear, this is the only part of the game that got a genuine reaction out of me. And it was fear. But anyways, you eventually find his pattern by dropping these things on his head. And then after you beat him, you do more flying. This time over Japan and then America. And look at the design of the enemies here. Giant flying footballs. How creative. I'm surprised you didn't see other American stock things like American dollar bills or apple pie, fried chicken. I mean, come on now. I mean, couldn't they come up with something better? So after flying over America, you fight the final boss, Mr. Weather. He is very easy. Just dodge his lightning and shoot the highlighted cloud to damage him. And that's it. Good job. You saved Christmas.
It's good. It's good. Ah. So that's it. Days Before Christmas. What a very underwhelming Christmas experience. You know, it's not the worst game ever, but they didn't even know what Christmas was. Why couldn't they use more Christmas themed stuff in the game? Like, for instance, why just use the reindeer to fly and not the magic carpet? I mean, if they wanted to go ridiculous, they should have just went all the way ridiculous. Have Santa have a ripped shirt, make him buff, make him decapitate enemies with just a candy cane, make them like throw bombs and have them explode, make them snap off heads and rip them off, make them ridiculous. And they just didn't know what they wanted to make. Oh my gosh. Well, to be fair, the game does have a little bit of Christmas charm to it. They did use some elements that are Christmas. It gives you a warm feeling inside, but there are other elements of it that makes no sense, that just leaves you scratching your head like, why did they make it? The developers almost didn't know what they wanted to do with this game. Did they want to make it a fun, lighthearted Christmas adventure, or go all out and make it really ridiculous? Like, it's like they had no plan. Well, anyways, that's Days Before Christmas. Thank you for watching. We hope you have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and you know what? We'll see you in the new year.